Oh, why yes, I too enjoy the smell of napalm in the morning. And coffee. Regular, cream only, with bacon, egg, and cheese scrambled, with the cheese on the top all melted. Here we go. Mark. What it is, moviegoers? Welcome back to Optimistic Forever. I'm your host, Frank, and today we're going to be diving into the heart of darkness as we review the iconic war film, Apocalypse Now, which I got to see for the first time in my 31 years of living. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola and released in 1979. Now, my biggest takeaway from this movie is how it explores two things: the horrors of war and the human psyche. Now, I rarely watch movies based on war, and the reason one I saw was, in fact, also taking place in Vietnam, was the flashback scene of Forrest Gump. I mean, then again, almost the entire movie of Forrest Gump is a flashback. But enough said, let's get started. Now, Apocalypse Now is loosely based on Joseph Conrad's novel Heart of Darkness and follows the story of Captain Benjamin L. Willard, played by Martin Sheen. Willard is sent on a secret mission to assassinate the rogue Colonel Walter E. Kurtz, portrayed by legendary Marlon Brando. We learn that Kurtz has gone mad and establishes himself as a demigod among a local tribe deep in the Cambodian jungle. Now, the film boasts a pretty good ensemble cast, including Robert Duvall as the eccentric Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, who delivers the iconic line about loving the smell of napalm in the morning, as I quoted at the beginning. Dennis Hopper also makes an appearance as a manic photojournalist. Then we have young Lawrence Fishburne playing the role of a naive soldier from the Bronx named Clean. Next up, we have Chef, played by Frederick Forrest. The surfer Lance, played by Sam Bottoms. And then there's Chief Phillips, played by Albert Hall. One of my favorite parts about the lieutenant is how he just encourages Lance and a few other guys to go ahead and surf while everyone is just so preoccupied about getting hit by a bomb. I thought it was just so random, because I thought it was just a random thing to write in a war movie, that even Colonel Kilgore took his shirt off to join in on the surf. And nothing faces this guy, not even the sound of bombs from either near or far. Now, overall, the performance in Apocalypse Now are nothing short than phenomenal. Martin Sheen's portrayal of Captain Willard is both haunting and introspective, while Marlon Brando's enigmatic and chilling performance as Colonel Kurtz leaves a lasting impression. And the film brings a nice narration from the lens of Captain Willard as the story progresses. It just makes it feel more like a memoir based on the captain's experience, and the performance of the rest of the crew just captivates the effects of fighting in the war, where we can see how they would lose part of themselves and just changes their dynamic as well as their persona. The cinematography in Apocalypse Now is breathtaking, with stunning visuals that captures both the beauty and chaos of the Vietnamese landscape. The scene with all the helicopters flying over the shores of Vietnam and bombs just being launched just gives a clear perspective about what it all looked like. The famous opening scene featuring helicopters flying over a burning jungle is a testament of the movie's visual prowess. And along with that is the choice of music with The Ride of the Valkyries. Oh, and speaking of music, the soundtrack adds another layer of depth to the film. The use of The Doors' The End in the opening sequence sets the tone for the entire movie, while the hunting score perfectly complements the film's dark themes. Now, since we're talking about the opening of the movie, I just want to point out that Martin Sheen does a fantastic job just capturing his character's condition. It just brings out the effects and trauma that even a soldier has gone through, where he has seen the bad and the ugly. And I think at the time, from what I've learned, Martin Sheen was at a really deep moment in his life during the filming of this movie. Like, he was literally drunk as he was acting in that first scene when he was in his apartment. Now, as far as the themes and symbolism, which is something also that kind of stood out in this film, Apocalypse Now delves into the themes of war, madness, and the duality of human nature. This movie just explores the idea that war can just bring out the worst interest in people as seen through the actions of both Kurtz and Willard. And that's what makes the movie even more interesting. The film just has this unique illustrative progression, starting off with planes flying, bombs dropping, sailing through the river, all the way to stumbling in a place with a multitude engaging in odd behaviors compelled by this powerful and twisted man. So with all of that said and done, I will give this film an optimistic rating of 8 out of 10. Watching this movie, you really should be in the right mindset, just for the sake of understanding what's going on. And also taking note on all the characters' behaviors, their lines, what they're saying, and their actions. Granted, I thought I was gonna give this movie a fat 0 rating when they found a white, Labrador puppy. Just cause how they were treating it at first, and thought that they were just gonna severely hurt it or worse. Even so, we still don't know what happened to that pup. It just disappeared. God damn it, Lance. What the fuck? You had one job. So that's all I have to say about Apocalypse Now. Is it recommendable? Absolutely. If you really love war movies and you have not seen it yet, definitely give this an opportunity. Is it rewatchable? I would say 50-50. So that's all the review for today, guys. Until next time, stay cool, stay safe, and keep watching movies the way they were meant to be, which is at the theaters, because it's always better when we watch together. Enough said. Alright? Bye, guys.